So create, next one is instance variable demo. Let's create a new class, instance variable demo. Yeah, class, create a class and give the class name instance, so variable demo. So take the main method also. So what is instance variable? Declaration, where we can do above the methods, below the class without static keyword, right? That's the, I'm going to see that. Declare instance variable syntax. Access modifier, data type, so variable name equal to value. Even if you don't declare a value, so the JVM will provide a default values for those variables. That's the instance variable, not necessary to declare, right? It is not necessary to declare. And let's see this access modifier. I'll use private char c equal to capital A and int I equal to 15 and protected float f equal to 2.12 capital F. This is declared 2.12 capital F. Public long L equal to, so 100. These are 4 types of variables. All are non-static. I have declared here. All non-static variables I have declared. So where can you use this non-static data? In the non-static methods only. You cannot use directly in the static methods. So directly you cannot use in this main static method. Main method is a static method. You cannot use directly. If I use, it will throw error for you. So you see that if I use long result equal to C plus I, so it will throw error. See that what is the error? Cannot make a static reference to the non-static field C. Cannot make a static reference to the non-static field I. Directly can access. So I have shown you how to access that. I've shown you how to access that. So first, let's use this data inside the non-static methods. What is the non-static method syntax? Access modifier void method name parenthesis curly braces logic. You can use the logic. Access modifier is private. So void, I can create a simple method. So addition method I'll create. Okay. Addition method is create here, and you can say simply started executing the addition method, so that I will understand, okay, this is addition method code is executed. And now I'll use all this output, int output equal to, I'll use C plus I plus L. So you'll get in the right side you have a L, but on the left side you declared integer. So you'll get a type mismatch error here. See that? Type mismatch. Cannot convert from long to integer. So the right side value is a long value, but you're assigning to integer value. Same data type, but memory sizes are not same here. That's why you're getting a type mismatch error. So how can you avoid that type mismatch error? Add cast to integer. So you convert this long to integer. So that's a type casting, we call this, right? Parenthesis you are putting before the right side value and converting into integer format. So that's the one. You can just say, so output value is, so just put output. The simple, that all the variables I declared globally and I'm using here in my non-static method inside I'm using. I didn't declare again here, but this one is a local variable. Again, this is a local variable. Output is a local variable. Data type, so variable name equal to value. So this is the value. Right side one is the value. That value you are storing in this variable. And this is the local variable. Why it is a local variable? Below the method and following this syntax. So that's a local variable syntax.
Ramesh, one question.
Yeah.
So now, since like the left side is lower memory and the right side we are still using the long, so we are typecasting here. In case if the output comes in a long value, so will that compress to integer value? If still I wanted a, okay.
Yeah, it will compress.
Okay. Just to get that, then I should be declaring the output in a long if I have to still get that. Okay.
Yeah, you can. So if you know this output long type, basically if you use a long, always you'll get a long one. Make it a long also. Then you don't need to do typecasting.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the this thing addition. How simple method I created. I am not doing any complicated here. So let's create one more method also. I'll create one more non-static method. Say so void multiplication, started executing the multiplication method, and you can say simply I'm going to do so double multiplication result equal to the local variable I'm declaring. I'm going to use all these variables. So let's see that c multiply by I multiply by f multiply by l. So obviously you will get a double value here. So you're multiplying with a float, definitely you will get a floating value or a double value, right? Because this is the long you are using. So even you can declare a float also. Float also you can declare. So anyone, because basically in the right side one, if one float variable is there, you will get a decimal values only. Decimal data type, what you can use, either float or double, right? You can anyone you can use here. Okay, I want to use a double. Let's use double. Okay. So that I can cover all the data types, different data types. I covered a character, integer, float, long, and I'm covering here double data type. And here I can say print that output. Multiplication of C, comma, I, comma, F, comma, L is. So I told you C output here, C value 65 ASCII character will come and participate here. 65 multiplied by, or I don't want to do all multiplication, I'll do C plus I, and these two I'll put in one bracket, this output, and so I'll do C plus L. I'll just change all the pattern. So on top of that, I'm going to get it here. Okay, so this one, multiplication of this. So see that same data one time we declared, we used another method also, another non-static method. So directly you are calling the non-static variables, you are calling directly. See this in blue color. That means the blue color represent the variable name. That means that you declared globally. That's the meaning also. So if the variable name is in blue color, means you are calling from globally. If it is a local variable, so that's not in blue color. Can you see this? That's not in blue color. That's the non-static data you can use in non-static methods only. Okay, can I use this data in the static methods? I have shown you. No, you cannot use directly. But how can you execute them? So what I told you in the last class, we discussed it already. How can you execute a non-static data under static methods? Under main method. So you need to create object for the class. So we need to create object for the class. Once you create object, the data will store in the heap memory with some address. So that I'll show you now. So how to call non-static members inside the main method. So create object for the class. So the syntax is class name reference of object equal to new class name parenthesis semicolon. That's the how you can call. So what is the class name? Instance variable demo. So ins object equal to new class name. What is the class name? This is the one. So we can create object like this. So when you create object here, so in the heap memory, the object will be created. Let me show you. So you have a stack memory here. When you call each method one frame, it will create. So the main method will be here. This is the main method frame, the main method frame, and here one object will be created. So when you create object, so for anything that will create here. So all the variables will come and store here. Now main method here. So below the main method, you created a local variable. So remember that. This is the main method frame. This is the main method frame. So this is the stack memory. So remember memory areas in the JVM is the heap memory. Heap memory. So where you created object under main method frame. So your reference variable will be, this is the reference variable. See this, before this variable, what is there? The class name. The class name is the data type, right? Class name also the data. That means it's a local variable concept. Will you accept a local variable concept or not? This one. This is a variable name. And the right side one is the value. The value is the memory address. This memory address. And this is the value. This is the memory address. This is the object. New class name parenthesis is called object. This is the object. Now in this object, every variable will be coming here and stores here. For example, you have one variable, so two variables, third variable, and fourth variable, right? Four variables we declared. Then you have two methods. So how many non-static methods are there? All non-static methods will come and store here. Okay. So this is how the variables are stored. Now let's declare. First one is C. C is called capital A. Next I. So I value I have given some. What is the I value we have given? 15. 15 will store. Then F value. So F value we have given 2.12. And L value we have given. It will come and store in this memory address 100. So now here one method, we created one addition method. So only one word, that's why all lowercase. Next one, multiplication, one word, all lowercase, multiplication. So these are the members of this object. So this has one memory address. In the heap memory, this object has one memory address. That memory is pointed by this reference variable. Local variables will store in the stack memory, right? I told you. All the local variables will store in the stack memory, right? What is the local variable here? And this is the local variable. So in the main method stack, the local variable will store here. So it will come and store here. This is the main method local variable. So this is pointing to this variable, this address, this memory address. So it is pointing, this is pointing to this address, this memory address. This is the how linkage will happen. So heap memory it stored it, and you are created a local variable under main method, and this variable contains this memory address. This memory address is stored here. So INS object local variable contains what? The address of this object. The address of this object. How can you get the address of this object? So we have a object class inside. Fetch the object address using object class hash code method. So hash code ready-made method, this one. This will return a integer type of data, return type method. This is a return type method. So return type method, void methods are different, right? Void method doesn't return a value, but return type methods returns a dynamic value. You created object. Okay, this object address. So is different. You create one more object. That object address is different. Another object will create. Suppose I created one more object. So that object will come and store here. This memory address is different. This memory address is different. Both are different. And the reference variables also you can give a different, because this memory address is different. This memory address is different. And same variables will come and store again here. Here also same variables will come and store. Let me create another object. So one more object I'll create. You can see both the memory addresses are different. For one class, you can create n number of objects. IVD I'll create. IVD object. See, this object reference is different and this object reference is different. So this object is pointed by IVD object and this object is pointed by INS object. Okay, so this another local variable. Local variable syntax is what? Data type, variable name equal to value, right? So are you all clear? This is the local variable, local to this main method only. This object reference variable is local to this main method only, because you declared with a data type, variable name equal to value, right? So one is the value. What is the value? Object memory address. object memory address is stored in this reference variable. Now I am going to create one more object reference, that is IVD object. This IVD object is referred by this one. Both the memory addresses are different. Now same copy of all these things will come and store here. So now we can store all of them here. C equal to capital A, then I equal to 15, and F equal to every object. Same copy of instance variables will come and store in that memory address. How many objects you create? Same one copy of instance variables and instance methods will come and store there. So this is another memory address how you can create. So in number of objects you can create. This memory address is different. This memory address is. So you are just pictorial view you are telling, but how do you confirm that? So let's get the memory address of this one and this one. So what is the memory address of this one? So what is the memory address of this one? How can you get? Using hash code method. So it returns an integer type of data. So data type of that method. So I'm writing then ins object address equal to the local variable. So I'm storing in this local variable object address equal to this object reference variable dot, because this is a variable, this variable the value is there, the dot hash code method. See that hash code return type non-static method returns a hash code value of the object. This method is supported for the benefit of hash tables such as those provided by HashMap, but you understand hash code it will return. Just call this method. I'm just calling the method with object reference. But we didn't create this method. How you are calling, you can ask. This is the method coming from default class object class. Now you can print the what is the value of ins object. Again, see so many local variables I'm using again and again. Ins object address is, each object address is different. Now even I can call return type methods directly in the print statement. For example, IVD object address is, okay. So now print it, execute the code. Now you can see the clear difference. Both object addresses are different. What I made a mistake. Okay, so I didn't call hash code method. So integer value, if you want, you need to call a hash code method. So directly I can call this hash code method in the print statement itself. Why? It's not a void method. That's why I can call directly in the print statement. Otherwise, unnecessarily again storing in a variable and then printing, not necessary, 2 lines of code, right? That's why we are calling directly. See that this memory address is different, this memory address is different. Every object address is different. So whatever the values you store for this instance variables, so you can store a different values also for this object, and you can store different values for this object. If you don't assign, if you don't hard code in the top, you just declare the variables. Later you can assign the values, your own values you can give. That is possible with the instance variables only. Only when you create object for the class, that time only memory will allocate for these instance variables and instance. Is it clear? Then how to call them? How to call them? So call instance variables inside main method. How to call? Reference object dot instance variable. Which variable you want to call? Let me know, because you are calling the value here. So I calling means I'll directly print. Okay. So instance variable C value is, what is the C value you want? So you can use any object reference, right? Both objects you have same variable, and I'll call IVD object dot C. See that C is visible here. C is a char data type in the class, and you can use C value here. So you are able to call now non-static variable under main method. How you are able to call? By object reference. Object reference you are using to call the instance variable. How can you call the instance methods? Instance methods. So what is the thing? Object reference dot instance method is the formula. So what is the object reference? IVD object dot, so what are the methods you want? You can see you have addition method, call addition method. Addition method is a void method, just executes for us. It doesn't return a value to us. So this is the output. Addition method started and executed. So now what will happen in the heap? So because in the stack memory, one more frame will create. That frame is addition frame will create here. So addition frame will create here. Because you are calling under main method first, then the frame will create here. All the local variables will come and store in the addition related local variables. So what are all addition method local variables? So this the output is the addition method local variable. This will also come and store in this addition frame, this frame. So here it will store. Here it will store. This is the frame, addition frame. So once this method execution is over, you're calling addition method, invoking addition method under main method frame, right? So you will call here. So you are calling the ins ivd object dot the method name you are calling. You're calling here, immediately the frame will create for this. When the method invocation happens on the main method, again immediately one frame will create for that method call. Every method call, one frame will create in the stack memory. So once that method execution is over, that will be deleted from this stack. It will be deleted from the stack. The entire local variables also deleted from the stack. So this is how the code execution will happen when the method invoked, and under main method immediately one frame will create in the stack memory, and once the method execution is over, that will be deleted from the stack. So it will be cleared off. So once that method execution is over, so that's how to call the non-static methods.
So the references will also be deleted, Ramesh?
Yeah, references, no. This one you are talking?
Yeah.
No,
So
no.
the local variables will be deleted from the stack memory. So the corresponding references which are created in heap, those will still be there?
Those still will be there because the object is not made null, right? You have to make this null, then only it will be deleted in the heap, and also it will be deleted from the stack also. Until that, it is keep pointing to that memory address. It is giving all this address, right, for this. Still the value is there. But the main method is over, it will be cleared. Again, it will create one more time. For example, so main method execution is over. No more statements. Then this also will be deleted. Again, one more time it loads again. Again, the stack memory inside it will come again.
Okay.
So
Ramesh.
next time you are loading this class, entire class, right? This class, entire class you are loading. Again, this main method stack will come here, and this also loaded again. This will be created again, right? Automatically in the heap, and that value will store in this local. This also will be deleted. Every frame will be deleted, automatically destroyed from the stack memory. It will be cleared once the program execution is over. Nothing will be there in the stack memory. Once this, for example, when it reaches main method here, nothing will be there. Okay, so it will be cleared of everything. Say multiplication method you can call. So these are all how to call non-static method. Any questions here? This is the how to call non-static methods under main method. First you have to create object, then object reference dot non-static variable, object reference dot non-static methods. Anywhere this is the same procedure in the same class or in another class, another package class. It's a common thing. It doesn't change. If you want to call non-static members of a class, single funda, that is create object for the class. And why do you need to create object? To call the non-static members of that class inside the any static method. You want to call one class non-static members. First thing what you need to do, create object for the class. What is the object creation syntax? Class name, reference of object equal to new class name. But can I call with this reference variable in another method? No. Why? Because it's a local variable. INS object, IVD object are local to main method only. Only in the main method you can use these reference variables. But if you want to use the same object in another place, don't make it as a local variable. Make it a global. So this entire thing, take this entire thing, take it a global and assign the value. So like this. So you can assign a value like this. You can make it a global. First the value will be null. You have to make it as a static. Static you can use in both the methods, right? So that you can use INS object, then it should not be this one. This data type should not be there again. Now this is how to make a global variable. So INS object is now global. Now first when executes this 30th line, now initially we declared 9th line the INS object value as a null. Now first this main method will execute, right? It will come to 30th line and this memory address will store there. Null will replace and the memory address will store here, so that you can use in any methods that INS object. That's how to make object globally. Okay, so what we did, this is the local variable concept. This is the local variable concept, object creation. Why it is a local? Data type, variable name equal to the right side one is a value. What is the value? Object. Now this IVD object I can use only in main method, right? I cannot use in another method, but I want this object in other methods also. Same object I want to use in another method also. Then how can I use? Make it global. How to make? The static. So default or access modifier, whatever you want, you can use private, or so suppose I want to use private. So this object I want to use in this class only, then I'll make it private. So private static instance variable demo class type data type, right? Static variable syntax is what? I'm following static variable syntax. Access modifier static, so data type. Now what type of data type is this instance variable demo class? What type of data type? So what type of data type is this? So access modifier is a private static. What are the different data types we have? And data type I put a instance variable demo. The class name is my data type here, and the variable name is INS object equal to null. So initially I declared my variable value as a null, but later I'm changing here INS object value is the hash code address, integer number you will get here. That's how to make object as a global. Is it clear?
మీరు ఇది నల్ చేస్తే మొత్తం delete అవుతుంది అంటున్నారు కదా మెయిన్ దాంట్లో.
Madam, I am not initially I'm declaring as a null. Only that object will become, but here first which line will execute for you? This line will execute, right? First. Yes. So that line won't execute. Now what will happen? That null will be replaced with the memory address, because this memory address is going to store in this variable, right? The global variable. INS object, you declared initially null, madam, then I can change the value, right? Immediately I can change the value, right, to some other variable. Now initially null is there, but I'm changing that to, I'm replacing with this memory address. Now the INS object is not going to be null. What will be there? The memory address will be stored. The null will be replaced with a memory address, so that INS object is not null now. It will be a memory address, and that's why first this line will execute. This line will execute for you, not this line. And then the memory address is not null now, so that you can use that INS object in any other methods also if you make it global. Are you clear, madam? Initially you declare null, but later you are changing the variable values, right? You can change the variable value to some other value.
If you don't say null, will that take by default null, Ramesh? Or
yeah, by default null. Objects default value is null. Even if you don't assign value also here, it will be by default null only. And again, if you put a data type here, then that value will be null only. So don't put again data type before this variable. If you declare a global variable, just use variable name, that's it. Again, you should not use a data type here. That's wrong. Okay, and you can, I'm removing this. So this is the global variable syntax, global object creation syntax. Okay, the only reference variable I'm using, that is reference, because you already declared here class name, object reference. Now you need to pass the value for this variable. Just variable name you call here, because you, that's why you made a static. If you don't make static, you cannot call static variable, you cannot non-static variable you cannot call in the main method, right? If I remove static, see that it will throw error. See that? Why it is throwing error? cannot make a static reference to the non-static field in INS object. You made INS object now non-static variable. Non-static variable we cannot call directly, right? Can we call in the static methods non-static variables? We cannot call. That's why I made it as a static. Clear? Why I made this object as a static? That object variable, this variable, only static variable I can use in the static methods, but non-static variable I cannot use in the static methods. That's why I created static. Okay, so that's all about this instance variable. Any questions before going for a static? Last one, static variable demo. Any questions?
No, Ramesh.
Okay, now static variables. So what is static variable syntax? Access modifier, static, data type. So variable name equal to value. So I'll declare all private static string s equal to Java. So I created a access modifier as a private, static, data type is a string, variable name is yes, and the value is Java I have given. Next. So I'm creating static char c equal to small a. I created small a, static variable, default access modifier I used, protected, static. So double D equal to 25.5, public static, so long L1 equal to, so 120 capital L. So these are the variables I have declared here. Okay, 4 static variables. Static variables you can use in static methods as well as non-static methods. So first definition, static variables are declared outside the methods below the class with the static keyword. That's why these are all static variables. And where you can access static variables? In static methods as well as non-static methods. So let's see this. And static method syntax, access modifier, static, void method name, parenthesis, curly braces, logic. Access modifier is private, static, void, subtraction. I'm just using subtraction. Started executing the subtraction method. Simple, we are writing very simple. I'm going very slowly so that you can understand step by step. So addition you can do, subtraction you can do, multiplication. These are the operators also we're using: multiplication, subtraction, plus operator, minus operator, multiplication operator. So all this. So I'm going to do that. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is, so I'll get a float value or a double value. So double subtraction value equal to L1 minus D plus C. So this is how I'm using. Or C, if you don't want, you can delete it, no problem. 97, the ASCII code of A is, ASCII code A is 97. ASCII code A is 97. So 97 will participate here. So 120 minus 25.2, that will deleted, that will be directed, then 97 will add for that. So that's output you are going to get it here. See both the variables, all the variables you have used here. So now subtraction value. So that's a simple method we created. And another one, I'll create a non-static method. What is a non-static method syntax? Access modifier. So void method name. So logic, you can do that. I'll just do that protected. Any access modifier you can use, right? Char demo. I'm going to play around with the character. Okay. So character demo, I'm going to show you. I'm going to use all characters. Started executing the, see, static variable I'm going to use in this non-static method inside. So that means static data you can use in static methods as well as non-static methods also. That's what I want to say here. See that I'm going to assign the C value to int C equal to int I equal to C, assign. So character I assign to integer. Now what is the character? So you can see that C ASCII code stored in I. So you can print I value. Let's say value I. So you can just print. But I don't want to do that, right? I want to do some more. So I want character C1 equal to I plus 1. I want to do that. See now why it is throwing an error here. So type mismatch. So right side you have an integer, but left side is a 16-bit. So that's why it is asking typecast it. So now C value I assigned here. So I plus 1 means 97 plus 1, 98 you are going to get, but 98 is integer, but you assign to character. I'm saying 98 character I'm saying. So what you need to do, put a parenthesis on the left side and right side and write this. This is called typecasting. So this is what typecasting I told you, right? Right side value you are converting into character format, and that means left side format. That is called typecasting. So when you get a type mismatch, you're getting a type mismatch error, and avoid that type mismatch error with the typecasting. So call this C1 value is. See now you'll get a small b you will get. So that you cannot execute, right? See that I can use static data in non-static method, in the static methods also. I can use it both places. Okay, so that's this thing. And let me write one string demo class. So we used all the different types of things, right? Private, public. Let's put public, void, string demo. See, I used the method naming conventions. So first word all lowercase, second word onwards, this letter is capital letter, and this word is all lowercase. Second word, first letter is capital. So everywhere like this. This is one word, that's why all lowercase. Now, so I want to join this string. So I can minimize this. This methods I'm minimizing so that if you want, you can click on plus icon, it will maximize. So yes, I want to join. Now yes and L I want to join. See that. How can you join? Or I'll do one more string here. Local variable data type. So variable name equal to value. So data type value is string S1 equal to Selenium I'm using. So I want to join this yes and S1. How can you join? Use a plus operator. Join yes and S1 using plus operator. So that's a plus operator. You will get another string S2 equal to S plus S1. So now see the output. So S2 is another local variable. S2 value is plus S2. Joining S value is Java plus S1 value is Selenium. So both will combine. You will get output Java, Selenium. New string you are going to get. That new string I'm storing in S2 variable. Next, string S3 equal to S plus L1. See that I'm using another variable, all local variables. You will get a Java 120. You will get output. S3 value is, see numbers, string plus number. If you do, you will get string only. You won't get any other thing. Okay, so that's the thing. Next thing. So I'll get another string S4 equal to S plus bracket 2 plus 5. So first 2 plus 5 will calculate, 7 you will get. So because this between 2 and 5 plus act as an addition operator, both will sum up, 7 you will get. S plus 7, Java 7 you will get. S4 values, so S4 you can print. Then another calculation, S5 equal to 3 plus 4 plus S. See here 7 Java you will get. S5 value is plus S5. If you want that expression, you can write expression also. Suppose I want this expression output, and you want this expression output. You can write here expression output S5 value, so that we can understand what is that S plus L1 value. So you can write here S plus L1 expression output. So that's the thing. And another thing, you can join two strings. String S6 equal to, both you keep in double quotes. The numbers you can keep in double quotes. So what will happen? Plus S, if you do, you'll get a So how can you put this entire thing in double quotes? See that, just copy this, put a double quotes first, then place that entire thing in the double. So automatically the backspace will come, because this is the escaping this special character with the backspace. This is escape character, we call this. And expression output is S6. So these are all the different methods. Now you can see the subtraction you can call directly. See, I called all the variables static method calling. This is static method calling static methods. So directly you can call, right, static method name. So in the same class static method name, how can you call under main method? Directly call this static method name parenthesis. That's what, just call this static method name. See, code is executed. Then how can you call the non-static methods? So we have two non-static methods, char demo, string demo. We have two. How can you call them? You have to create object for the class. So create object for the class. What is the class? This is the class. What is the syntax? Class name, local variable syntax. Reference of object equal to new class name. So anywhere you want to create object. So this one, svd object equal to new class name parenthesis semicolon. This is the object creation. Then how to call the non-static methods? How to call the non-static methods? Object reference dot non-static method parenthesis. So what is object reference? svd object dot char demo. So you can see that char demo in this class, and void type. This is void type. Void means it doesn't return anything. svd object dot string demo. So these are the how to call non-static methods. Any non-static method you can call with object reference. You can call with object reference. Just call it. So that's, see that the expression also you're getting directly double quotes. So this is the how you can play around with the strings. How to join strings also I have shown you here. So that's all data types we covered. So any data type is pending. Float we have used, and so all double, long, integer, character, boolean. Yesterday we have seen. Today we have seen different types of variables we have seen here. Any queries? Tomorrow, very important topic, that is methods.